on, and we're moving on to a film that you have seen and I have not. So I'm going to chuck it over to you to go through the director and cast. You've got all of that written down, right?
No, I don't.
Yeah, no, okay.
No, you can do that while you can do that while I talk. So, well, I can put in the YouTube description in the cast and directors. You don't need to care about that stuff. But anyway, so Mortal Engines. This came out, I think, just after Christmas time, that dead time between New Year's and Christmas.
What day is it?
What?
Just that time.
Oh yeah, it's just that Twilight Zone. So essentially, Mortal Engines is a post-apocalyptic steampunk kind of fantasy movie. It's got Peter Jackson attached to the film. I don't think he directed it, but he was like produced by him. So that was like the hype for this film. So this film is based on the novel by Philip Norris. So I did do some research. So,
well done.
Philip Norris.
That's a first.
Yeah. So the film focuses on this world where everything's been destroyed because of this war. And it's basically like a barren wasteland now. And cities now move around on like these massive engines, which is the name where the name comes from. So they're like moving cities. It's a nice concept. Right. So like all these cities move around now and they kind of like eat each other to survive. It's like a symbiotic relationship. If you did some biology, you know, they kind of consume other cities to survive and perish others. And this is about this walking around, basically trying to live. All is so bad. I was going to say another word. The world is bad. So the story focuses on our main hero called Tom, played by Robert Sheehan. I've never heard of him. He was never much of a cast. So he ends up discovering some conspiracy, and he gets thrown off the island by a bad guy, played by Hugo. The thing is, they kind of reveal his badness in the first 5 minutes of the film. So it's like they make him good, and 5 minutes later he's bad, and what's the point? Just make him bad from the beginning.
Again, no tension.
Yeah, it's an irrelevant plot twist. So basically, Hugo Weaving's character is the bad guy, and there's a character called, what's her name? I forgot the name of the lady. The assassin girl. I'm just going to call her assassin girl because the film's so forgettable. So the assassin girl, the lady on the poster, she comes
to stellar review so far.
I mean, she comes to kill Hugo Weaving's character. She fails a mission, ends up getting thrown out with Tom, and then this follows their journey, you know, trying to go back to London. Because they got thrown off to basically uncover the truth and stop this war happening, because London wants to have a war with China, because China are the bad guys for some reason. I don't know.
So wait, London is one engine and China is another one?
No, China is actually a different part of the world that isn't destroyed. They just live behind a wall. A wall, see. So apparently China...
so the wall does work.
Yeah, so apparently the wall does work. So
who knew? So
basically London suddenly wants to have a war with China. Like, why is China here for? Why are they so like, they're flourishing behind the wall? It's like green land and green trees, rainbows, and living in harmony. Yeah, exactly. You know? And then the London's in the wastelands, so that's essentially the plot. Very well explained. But, I'll go through what I've got notes wise. It's made $150 million loss as of right now. Just like I throw that in. What I did like is a setting and environment. I like my sci-fi, my fantasies.
I do like post-apocalyptic.
Yeah, to be honest. It made me interested in reading the books to see where the books would go, because the world is so amazing and it's just so interesting to see, you know, how it all functions. But sadly, we never see much of that.
I feel like sometimes when they do an adaptation of the book, it's really difficult, especially when it's building its own world. Yeah. And like that has a different interpretation for whoever reads that book. So however you make it into film, you're going to disappoint a bunch of people.
I mean, I would prefer for them to see more in life in London, how that works, how society works, how they move, like how do you move a city so big around. So casually that. How does, you know, what's infrastructure? None of that. They don't really dig that much into it. When second half of the film becomes a plain action movie, then it's like
that's the other thing. Lore gets lost a lot when you're making.
I mean, because if you want to build a a whole franchise out of this, you kind of got to build like Hogwarts. You spend a good hour or two just getting into Hogwarts, and that's what makes the film good in Harry Potter, the world. Here they kind of set up a world, but they never really go into it too much, and you just lose interest.
I feel like they did that with Dark Tower as well.
Kind of tried to rush all into one film. Like
just like, we want McConaughey and Idris Elba on the screen. And I'm like, well, what about the rest of the film?
Who cares? And another point I did like is there's a nice subplot between the assassin girl, her childhood. So she has a tragic childhood, and that's why she's like an assassin. So like the reason why she becomes who she is really interesting. I kind of wanted them to follow that character a bit more.
Right.
He's played by Stephen Lang. The dude from Don't Breathe, was it Red Sound?
The big army guy. Yeah.
So he plays some sort of like undead zombie Terminator character. He sounds ridiculous, but actually he had the most character depth
That's going to be Terminator 7.
Exactly. I wouldn't associate anything with Terminator 7. And so, but if they follow that character and what his history was, I've been far more interested in what they ended up doing.
Yeah.
Frankly, what they did end up doing is, let me go for my negatives. The random China stuff, okay, when did they become the bad guys? Why do you want to make a war with them? Fair enough. The characters are just so bland. I mean, the main guy, Tom, is just a generic guy. He's just a generic guy with nice hair. He's like the guy from Solo. I don't remember their names. It's
generic white person.
Generic white, you said it.
It's okay when I say
it. He's just so bland. I don't really care about him. The assassin girl, she actually becomes like the third most important character. Because another lady, I think her name is Fang, or Asian Neo, as I call her. She's literally dressed in like red leather with sunglasses, with her hair all done up like Matrixy. So she comes into the story, and then she kind of relegates the assassin girl to like the third in the whole arc of things. I'm like, she's on the movie poster. Why is she so irrelevant? It doesn't make any sense. I want to know about her, but they don't really. Then eventually they make a romance between the two, really forced.
So they're kind of like focusing on the wrong characters.
Yeah, I mean, I would have rather seen what the assassin girl's backstory was, and about her character growth. Tom really does nothing. Suddenly he becomes an expert pilot like Ray in The Force Awakens. Like, he's never flown before in his life, but suddenly he's flying with his old squad wearing his pilot jacket and just, go fighting.
Why? Reasons, that's why.
Well, the reason was he wanted to become a pilot. So I'm like, okay, fair enough. But did he actually do anything?
So I want to become a dancer. Now I can dance.
Oh, but
that's how that works.
If they even said, he spent a bit of time training to be a pilot, and I'm okay, fair enough. At least he did something. Yes, his dream was to be a pilot, and apparently that makes him good enough to fly with the rebels as they attack the Death Star or London or whatever. It really is. London's got a nuclear weapon on it, and it's like, is this like Star Wars? But,
now we're going into Star Wars Episode 10.
Yeah. So, but basically a forced romance. Hugo Weaving's character, I mean, is just such.
You just lose all kind of tension.
He just doesn't die. He's like Agent Smith. I'm like, this Agent Smith had powers. This guy gets thrown off buildings and he just gets up. He gets stabbed in the beginning of the movie, right? So this doesn't really feel it. He just gets shanked right in the stomach, and he still manages to chase Tom and deal with him. Like, dude, he just got shanked in the gut. Like, but he takes like 3 different attempts to kill, and finally he dies.
Right.
Wow. Okay. So.
All right. So. 3 words, 4 words?
It's stalled. That's the one I'm saying.
It's stalled.
It's engine pun. It's stalled.
Oh my god.
And they're not getting a sequel. I don't care what you guys.
Yeah, well, $150 million loss. Yeah. And then not getting a sequel.
I mean, the thing is, they could have done it much less. I don't know why they went so all out on the budget. I mean,
how else are you going to make buildings that walk, cities?
I mean, you could do some. I mean, you could do that. Some scenes and show that, but you can spend the film in London, or just show all of that.
Otherwise, you're going to get a film with really terrible CGI, like Justice League.
Yo, I love that moustache, man. I'm gonna CGI this one afterwards.
I'm gonna CGI off.
So I wouldn't watch it, even if you were forced to at gunpoint. I'll take the bullet, man.
Okay, moving on.